Today's Broncos Breakdown is presented to you guys by BetQL. Use the link at the bottom of your screen with the promo code CHATBroncos. Can't forget it, C-H-A-T Broncos. And then once you're there, they're going to hook you guys up with some of the best bets to make to start beating the books and making some money. All right? Check them all out. We got all the information you need in the description of the video, in the comments, chatsports.com/BroncosQL. Let's get started with some Broncos injury news, some sad news, unfortunately, as Jerry Jeudy will miss some time per head coach Vic Fangio after suffering that high ankle sprain in their Week 1 win against the Giants in the Meadowlands. He may go on IR. What that would mean is he'd be forced to miss a certain amount of weeks if he went on IR, but it would open up a roster spot. So someone off the practice squad like Tyree Cleveland, Seth Williams, Kendall Hinton could come up and fill in that void at wide receiver. Let's just hope that it's closer to 4 instead of 6 weeks for Jeudy, because this offense loves how he can stretch the field for Teddy Bridgewater. In other Broncos injury news, some possibly even sadder news right here. Glasgow went to the hospital after the Broncos' Week 1 victory. Here's what the Broncos team media reporter Eric Delilah had to say on it. Vic Fangio said Glasgow left the stadium last night in an ambulance with an irregular heartbeat, stayed overnight in New York, but is doing fine and is expected to return soon. So hopefully it's soon, because absolutely you want, return full of health, right? You don't want to mince your words here. Hopefully everything is okay with Glasgow in a scary condition right there. But let's send some well wishes, Broncos fans. Let's do what you guys do best. Let Jeudy and Glasgow know you're thinking of them. Send them some well wishes in the comments of this video so they can get back up and suited at Mile High, playing in front of the best fans across the entire NFL. BetQL, beat the sportsbook, guys. Stop losing and start winning thanks to BetQL. Here's the deal. You use the link at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/BroncosQL. Then, when you're about to pay and sign out, use the promo code CHATBroncos. They're going to give you 25% off your subscription. That subscription is going to help you guys start making smarter bets. All right, BetQL, their computer models scan over 350,000 player props, over-unders, you name it, spreads. They've got it for you. They also give you tools so you can make your own better educated guesses and bets, okay? So check them out. All the information you need is in the comments and the description of this video. BetQL, chatsports.com/BroncosQL with promo code CHATBroncos. Overreaction time now. It's Overreaction Monday, because that's what you get to do when you put up an ass-kicking in Week 1, going across the country to East Rutherford and just piling it on the Giants, who in my book scored 7 points in the 2021 era of the NFL. Ignore that last-second touchdown run by Daniel Jones. 7 points. That's embarrassing right there. So, starting things off on the offensive side, Teddy Bridgewater will have a career year. That's my first overreaction. And honestly, why not? Because he has just been so good so far, and we've only seen a game. But here's what he did in that first game. Went 28 for 36, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns in Week 1. He aired the ball out a ton, and that's what I loved, okay? Bridgewater sometimes has been knocked for just being a dink and dunk kind of guy, taking what's given to him in the flat and not pushing the envelope or being the aggressor, but he absolutely was. But Broncos fans know this. Is 11th time the charm? It's been that many quarterbacks since Denver, Peyton Manning retired, since the Sheriff hung it up. So, over or under 18 touchdowns this season for Teddy Bridgewater. Give me an over or under in the comments for what you're thinking on this one. 18, that's the highest a Broncos quarterback has gone since Peyton Manning has retired. So, some food for thought right there. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. Broncos fans, if you guys are ready to start the season off 2-0, then go ahead and subscribe right now to the Broncos Breakdown. We'll give you the best reports, news, rumors, previews, recaps, you name it. We've got it all Broncos content right here on the Broncos Breakdown. So make sure you subscribe right now so the Broncos can go 2-0, because that's how it works, right? Next overreaction right here. The Broncos will have 2 1,000-yard receivers. That's tough to do, all right? Broncos haven't done it in a minute, but check out the depth chart here in a moment as the Broncos could accomplish that feat because you have a name like Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick next to each other on the depth chart. Now, there's no Jerry Jeudy, so this is what it looks like without Jeudy. Everyone moves up a row. Right now, the Broncos don't have a 5th wide receiver on the active roster. If they put Jeudy on IR, I bet they bring up Tyree Cleveland or Seth Williams or someone of that nature from the practice squad. But here's the last time the Broncos put up 2 1K receivers. You got to go back to 2016. This was probably an easy guess if you couldn't come up with it off the top of your head. Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas both summiting that 1,000-yard mark. They had a little help, okay? They had some, last couple of years, quarterback play has not really brought out the best wide receiver play. Of course, it doesn't help when Sutton goes down with an ACL injury last season, and injuries have plagued the Broncos in the recent years. But let me know. Will the Broncos have 2 1,000-yard receivers? Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. I'm certainly in the realm of possibility of, yeah, it can happen. Why not? You've got Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick, both guys who Courtland Sutton did it 2 years ago, and Tim Patrick nearly did it last year. So with good quarterback play out of Teddy Bridgewater, I think it's definitely in the realm of possibility. Next and final offensive overreaction from Week 1, Melvin Gordon will surpass 1,000 yards. The former first-round pick from 2015, look what he did in his first game of the 2021 season. Gordon going for 11 carries, over 100 yards. A lot of it coming off that big touchdown run, but he's got a partner in crime in Javonte Williams, so that's going to take some touches away. But Gordon, he's still gone over 1,000 yards just once in his career, 2017 when he was with the San Diego Superchargers. But since then, hasn't been able to do it. Came up close last year, but unfortunately just came up shy. But maybe this will be the year, in his final year potentially, as he enters a contract year with the Broncos, he'll get over that 1,000-yard mark. BetQL, guys, that's the best way to beat the book. I'm being serious here, all right? Use the link at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/BroncosMGM, okay? Here's what MGM's going to do for you guys. You're going to get a free BetQL subscription with a $10 deposit, and then you spend and then play that $10 at BetMGM and Broncos MGM, chatsports.com/BroncosMGM. All the information you need is in the comments and the description of this video. Stop losing money and lying to your girlfriend, your wife, or your mother about who these random Venmos are going to in weird increments of $76 because your parlay didn't hit. Start making some cash. Use all the information in the description and the comments of this video thanks to BetQL. And make sure you check out chatsports.com/BroncosMGM. Now time for the defense overreaction, starting with Von Miller. Von will have 10-plus sacks this season. May not seem like an overreaction, but it's been a little while, okay? Von hasn't reached 10-plus sacks since 2018 when he got 14.5, if memory serves me correctly. But he's off to a 34-sack season after 2 sacks in Week 1 against Daniel Jones and the Giants' offensive line. So why not, all right? Missed all of last season. 2019 came up short with 8 sacks. He's getting up there in the age department, but potentially his last season in Denver and his final year of his contract. Go out with a bang if it is his last year in Denver. Get over the 10 sack count. You're certainly on way to do it right now, Von. So let me know, how many sacks for Von Miller this season? I've asked this question before, but after 2 sacks in his first game, I bet all your numbers and all your answers have ballooned up a little bit, and maybe it's closer to double digits now if it wasn't before, and if it was, maybe it's closer to 14 or 15. Let me know what you're thinking, though, in the comments. Next, overreaction. Broncos will start the season 4-0. Honestly, this one's kind of on the, where do you want to put it, right? It's either the biggest overreaction or the least overreaction, all right? Look at the schedule that's coming up right now for the Broncos. Week 2. They're going to go to Jacksonville and take on an Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence team that got their asses, tails, derrieres handed to them by Tyrod Taylor and the Texans. Wow. So why not pick up a win there? Then week 3, they're going to go back home, or return home for their season opener, I should say. Take on Zach Wilson of the Jets, who lost in week 1 against the Panthers by 5. So I think those are 2 very, very winnable games right there. Week 4 is a tough one. Home against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Coach Harbaugh, they're never an easy out. So that one's not going to be an easy challenge, but at least you get them at home, and you could be going into that game with a ton of momentum, starting off the season 3-0. So here's what I got to say about this. Denver, don't botch this schedule gift. When the NFL made their schedule, they handed you some easy wins to start the year off because you started the last 2 seasons off 0-3. So turn it around. Rectify it, head coach Vic Fangio, and start churning out some September wins against these bad teams. All right, the Giants looked like they were playing a different kind of football in week 1. The Jaguars were atrocious. They got curb stomped. The Jets are the Jets. You can turn out 3-0, no problemo. All right, and then you ride that high and you pick up a win at home against the Ravens. Very foreseeable, so hopefully that can happen. Final week 1 reaction, Denver will lead the NFL in interceptions. This one is a little tough to do after you don't pick up an INT in week 1, but you cannot count the secondary out when it's led by Kyle Fuller, Ronald Darby. Look at the names. You got the best slot corner, we got the best nickel defender in the NFL, best slot guy in Bryce Callahan. The safety room is overloaded. You had so much talent there, you had to take 5 safeties when most teams only take 4. So there's a lot of talent right here on this depth chart. Oh, and Patrick Surtain, the 9th overall pick, he can't even fit into the top 5 right there because of how much depth there is in this Broncos secondary. So, can Denver do it? Can they finish, say, top 3 at least in the NFL in interceptions? It's been a while. Haven't done it since 2000. Okay, they've come close a couple times to top 5, but in terms of top 3, not quite there. So last time they did it, a guy named Terrell Buckley. You remember that guy? Yeah, sure you do. Of course you do, because that was 21 years ago. So can the Broncos do it this time? We're going to find out. I certainly think it's possible, but let me know. We'll find out come week 2. Maybe they get a first interception of the season on the road against Trevor Lawrence.